Welcome back to Dicing with Death, everybody. So, Malcifer returns to Winter's Reach. He raises his new armies. What do you think is going on the other side of the battle? You know, these humans all escaped, minus their leadership. What do you think is happening? Like, what is going on in their heads?
Panic in the countryside. I'm thinking I've got to get my army together and on the warpath before all the villagers flee and just abandon the land. If we want some souls, we got to get on it. But I want to heal up first. And take a look at this mage. What equipment did he have? Did he have any loot? Any magic gear? Any arcane texts?
The mage was geared for battle. He has his spell components dangling around his waist in a series of pouches. He's got a silver dagger tucked at his side just in case. Just in case there's a werewolf or something or whatever needs to go on. But he did not bring his spell book with him.
Okay.
Or any magical items.
I feel like we might need that spell book to make a skeletal mage. That would probably be part of the ritual.
Probably.
For now, Malcifer himself, as I said, is going to ritualistically prepare this guy and save him for later when we're more powerful and able to, bind arcane magic to the skeletal mage. But I think, we'll probably still raise him. Malcifer will ritualistically flay him with his own silver knife, catalog and wrap each of his bones, using all of his embalming proficiency and things to equipment. Can a mage...
But still, you might want to mark him. Like, if another skeleton stands next to him, you might confuse the two, right? They're just skeletons. If he's...
Some 3 days after the battle, we'll journey out into the woods to the battlefield. I take these prepared bones with me, along with the mage's equipment. And an animal sacrifice, a medium-sized one, pig or whatever. Can this mage be raised as a skeletal warrior, or is he at this point he can just be raised as a standard?
Skeletal warrior does need a warrior's skeleton. The mage isn't quite a warrior. I think for now he'll just be a regular skelly until you find yourself some sort of other thing.
Okay, well, we take the remains of this mage out to the ritual circle of his own making, the fireball crater scattered with bone and charred splinters. Lay him down in it, sacrifice whatever sacrifice happened to be convenient. So I guess just a chicken would do, or some equivalent.
Yeah, any little thing that you find.
And sacrifice this bird. Rise. So he's less intelligent than my warrior skeletons. He's just a mindless automaton.
He's just a regular skeleton warrior for now.
All right, but we'll do the mercenary disguise from before. Wrapping his bones, shrouding him in a cloak or robe. Probably a robe. His own robe is fine, right? Put his old robe back on.
Yeah,
he can keep his spell components
but
and his silver dagger.
Yes.
And he can hang around at the estate, I think, for now. 3 days later, I think Malcifer will march the skeleton warriors, who will have fully recovered by now, north to the scattered remains of that village, just to sort of see what's there. I guess we'd send a shade. I might as well do that. I think I want to control a shade.
So you want to possess a shade?
Yeah, the shade of that servant's shade that haunts the manor house, the estate at Winter's Reach. Can we zoom out to the aerial map?
Yes. Let's bring us over to the aerial map. I was just fixing some things. I think the stream's been lagging, but it should be fixed now. I was trying to multitask and upload videos at the same time, but apparently it's not. Happy about it. It's my fault, guys, not Twitch's fault this time. Here is our map. Roll20 has made some slight updates, which I think makes everything move a little bit more smoothly. At least these like beacons are faster and smoother.
Interesting. So there's a village some 5 miles this way, huh?
Yes, that's the one that you attacked before.
Yeah.
This one right here,
On this third day with my mage by my side, I'm going to sit in my study and possess the shade.
The rain outside has gotten worse. A thunderstorm has rolled in for the last 12 hours or so. So in Winter's Reach, with the backlight of cracks of lightning and rolls of thunder, you possess the shade. And what does the shade look like? Do we remember who this is?
It was female, incorporeal. It was a servant of my one of my ancestors. She may have been named, but it's not that important. I don't think it's one of my ancestors. I think it's one of the former household staff.
Yes. And who has seen this shade thus far? Is it just the kitchen boy? Is it just Tomas?
I think there was that scene with everyone in the house seeing her.
Right.
Including Tomas and Carrie and probably Lord Rosegrove.
Okay.
Did we keep track of troop movements on this map at some point? And like moving spears around Gate Isle? Is that how you would imagine this playing out?
Maybe not for your armies, since you sort of have to be adjacent to them to control them.
Yeah, okay.
Or maybe once you have minions that can do that sort of thing for you?
I need to go fix Zauzad. So maybe that's where my warpath will take me. Up to Gator Beach.
What do you mean fix Zauzad? Isn't his body gone?
Well, maybe we can make a new one. We can go collect some gator corpses and put them back together.
Find all the separate pieces of Zauzad and re-raise him. Excellent.
Find his evil spirit haunting the swamp. Bind it to some other corpse. There might be ways.
Excellent.
There's certainly adventure along the way. All right, so the Shade. In the evening of this, I think the third day since the battle, the Shade drifts to the northeast to this village. What do I see?
You see the fields are actively being worked, even in the middle of a rainstorm. The people are cutting down everything they can possibly gather. What time of year is it? I believe was autumn when we started.
Sounds proper.
Calendar of historical important events. Where do we have? I thought I had just put you on the map. Maybe I haven't updated you yet. I think it's late autumn, early winter right now. Probably early winter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Swihard, Malachi, Drekis, Swihard, Milfadur, la 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 la. No, it's not on the list. Maybe it's in the wiki? Maybe it's in the wiki?
McTacky's saying there's no set time of year.
All right. Perfect.
It's winter, of course.
I think it's winter now. It maybe started in spring. Oh, I just went through this whole process a couple days ago. Yeah. It hasn't been set yet. Yeah. It's probably somewhere in the middle of winter now.
So, okay, fields are being reaped.
Yeah, I guess if it's in the middle of winter, the fields have probably already been harvested then. So instead, what you see are people packing up stuff. The shade kind of drifts into the streets, and there are carts with people's possessions being piled on them. The town looks mostly abandoned. There's just a few people here left gathering up what they can. Deep wagon ruts lead to the northeast.
I think I'd like a perception check to see if any of the villagers notice the shade.
Excellent. In the storm and in the rain, it's going to be difficult. There's no sunlight out, which means the shade can move during the day without being destroyed or disrupted. They roll a 3d6 12 24 12 and 12 is 24, but I was gonna give it like a darkness penalty or something because the shade is
which would
sort of
usually
like
be a 4,
right, which would bring it down to a 20 exactly. So the shade goes unnoticed, just barely. You know, someone pauses and looks in the direction of the shade and says,
there's some mild
nothing."
creepiness, but no direct sightings.
Yeah, and you can move through walls, through wooden walls at least as the shade, since you're
I've
ethereal.
confirmed all that I need confirm, and I think the shade will return to Malcifer, and upon this third night, I will command my skeleton warriors to attack, to strike this village and take them as our prisoners. So this will be some hours later because the shade has to go there and then come back to
Right,
to the caster.
right, and then it touches you again, and your essence comes back into yourself, and the shade just waits your next order. The village is abandoned.
I also want to tell my hunters on the way through Winter's Reach that we're expanding our territory. They are to hunt the Blumwood. Right, there's no more game here, right?
Smiles cross their faces. This is what they've always wanted. Open hunting season, no limits. Do whatever you want.
Just stay safe. And the hunters are loose, the warrior skeletons are sent, and Malcifer will follow after. You said the village is abandoned, so by the time the skeletons reach that night...
By the time you get there, it's gone. Yeah, the very last peasants were leaving.
And then we will take I will take this army sort of here to the east to the coast.
Excellent. That's just a couple hours away.
Any zombies I encounter, I will also instruct to advance. So the zombie line, the zombies will probably be ranging out miles.
And you'll march faster than they will, so they'll be out there
So I
somewhere
think
in the woods.
the zombies will be infesting this village by the time
Okay.
we're getting to the coast.
So what I want to do is I want to sort of take the zombies out of your control and have them be like random encounters in the woods for anyone that might come by.
That's totally what that's totally in line with what I've got in mind.
Perfect. Okay. So if anyone comes through here, I will roll encounters for them and a zombie.
We have lucky
and then
number
we'll-
13 zombies at this point, plus plus Janet and Jimmy, which live in town, I guess. I left behind the rank and file, the now 7 spear, and I think I'm just marching with my skeleton warriors who are intact. I think the regular spearmen take a day per HP to heal,
Yes.
so the warriors are up and running sooner.
So you have 9 spearmen and 4 archers for skeleton warriors? No, that's not right.
And 7 knights. 7 knights, 9 spearmen, 4 archers, and 8 more huntsmen. So there's 12 archers total and 16 skeleton warriors total. I'll get that elk moved somewhere.
Okay.
Somewhere elks.
All right, you march on the next village over. Are you expecting them to be aware of what's going on? What is Malcifer's?
Yeah, I'm expecting them to have abandoned their village. Like I'm concerned that they will have abandoned their village. So I'm making haste there with, expecting to see that they've fled. It's possible that I'll run into soldiers. That's sort of what we're here to scout out.
Right. You get to the edge of the clearing where the fields have been planted.
Is there a village on the coast here?
Yes, there is a village on the coast.
Yeah.
You get to the fields before the village. You can see lights on in the houses. When there's a flash of lightning, you can sort of make out a little smoke rising from their chimneys. Maybe if the wind is blowing from the south, you can hear the sound of music coming from their taverns. It appears this village is unaware of the nightmare.
Oh God, how do you want to handle this? So at this point, I think if they're unaware, we are going to descend upon them in the night. We've got, what did I just say?
17.
12 archers and 12 archers and 16
Is
warriors.
there a
plus
reason
myself.
your archers are in 2 separate groups?
I guess not. Yes. I think the second group of 4 has better armor. Oh no, maybe not. Oh yeah, right. This second group of 4 was raised enemies. This group of 8 are the huntsmen of Winter's Reach. I think they're statistically maybe the same.
Let's just pile them together. Let's try and keep this
spear
simple.
of 12 is more acceptable.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, and then there's 9 spearmen, and then 7 and the knights are separate. They have chainmail, shields, and long swords.
Excellent. Okay.
And yeah, maybe even a mismatching of crossbows and stuff, but that won't really be relevant.
Perfect. All right, so you march on the town. They're unaware of this. It's nighttime, or it's dark out with the rain and the storms, and they're all looking in, being warm and cozy. You know, winter solstice probably came and passed. They're sitting inside, thinking of all the good times to come, and how they've got all this wonderful food to last them, and you know, things are going well. Eridon's kind of in a mess, and that sort of makes everyone happy, even if they're members of Eridon now. But you know, this is great. The first building that you and your skeletons will come past is a mill. The blades of the windmill are still turning, and on the inside you can hear the sound of one very disgruntled miller who has to keep grinding grain all winter long, 'cause that's what he does. Everyone else is out at the tavern drinking and not having to work in this shit weather, but here he is. You pass a window and you can see him with a big bag of grain, just like dumping it into this mill for the stones to churn and break down into flour. He's completely unaware of your presence.
Restrain him, I say to the skeletal knights. As I dismount from my elk and approach.
The door is thrown open, chainmail, shield-wearing knights with skeletal
I think they
effigies.
just shove him into a corner with their shields. Malcifer steps between the ranks.
He gives a weary
Raises
cry.
Raises up an executioner's axe, and we want his skull.
Okay.
So Malcifer goes to grab him. He's restrained.
He dies.
Wait for us. Blood is spilled on this fat sack of grain.
Don't eat the red grain, people.
How many years were left in this guy?
That's right. This guy had 24, 39, 41 years. So 4.1 for you. Yeah, he wasn't that old either.
Point
He was...
1 is nice. That gets me up to a nice 44.
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
This man wasn't very, very old. He was maybe in his early 20s. He must not have had... There must have been something wrong with him if he was only had 40 years left in him.
Is there a house attached to this mill, or is this on the outskirts of town?
There is a house attached to it, yeah. It's a sort of like built into the mill. It's all one big building here. The sound of the stone scraping on stone continues to grind.
Storm the house. Bring them to me alive. And the skeletons barge on in.
There's a scream coming from inside, followed by a few more, and moments later, out are dragged a wife of the miller and 3 children, ages 2, 7, and 12.
You're awful, Neal. Cries of the children are heard in the village as their souls are ritualistically sacrificed to the gods of winter and Lord Winter himself. And I think the way you've mechanized it, children are even better sacrifices. You get even more years.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you horrible, horrible man.
Plus the wife.
It wasn't me. The system made me do it.
That's going to be another 22.7 years that you gain as you ritually sacrifice the wife and the children.
22.7, you said?
Yes. You have so much life, Malcifer. So many years. Those children were delicious. One of them gave you 7.3 years on its own.
Did this village have a name?
It does. It does. It's called Amen Watch. Named for the strait that goes right through it. Or past it.
What do we do with it? Torch it? Or do we invade it? We probably don't even really need the resources.
As of this point, no one in town knows that you're here. Do you want to disappear and just leave this horrific scene for them to find? Or do you want to push in and...
I think you're right. I think
stir some
Malcifer
stuff?
will withdraw. It seems that this village is unawares. They'll find a horrific murder.
You spend the rest of the day
Miller and his
marching.
entire family, right?
Yeah.
Executed.
You march north later that day, making
Yeah.
it to the next village over.
Can we delete that mage? Yeah.
Yeah.
We put a
it's gone.
Zombo there instead.
I'll put a second skull for another conquered town.
Yeah.
I think skulls for towns that you've owned are good.
Here along this coast.
There is another little village over here. This one seems to have been alerted, though, because as you approach the fields, you can see that there are barriers set up in the streets between the buildings, like crossed sticks, sort of barricades. The lights are off in the buildings, and except for like some lanterns of patrols moving through the town. The first person you spot carrying a lantern looks just maybe like a sheriff or something. He's got chainmail on, no shield, no helmet, like a big cloak.
And
Just kinda
I
shining
think we
the
should
light
roll
out.
like opposed perception checks to see if he sees the arrow before it catches him in the heart.
Oh my god, okay. Roll perception check for the old sheriff.
There are many in my numbers. So he would get a
Oh,
bonus.
God. Then he will see you. He rolled a adjusted 20 with your numbers. That'll be at least 23.
No, I have
Oh, you have a 28.
I have
He doesn't see it.
12 plus 16. So there's only plus. It's plus per every 10 or per every 5.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's like plus 5
Yeah.
for his perception.
So he gets a 25 then. You get a
Okay.
28. He doesn't notice the arrow until it's too close to him.
Mm-hmm.
Roll it.
Well, there's a volley of arrows, right?
Oh, I thought you were. This was
I
like
think that
a,
this was just the soldier, me and the skeletal warriors and Malcifer advance, and
Right.
there's a flurry of blows on or flurry of arrows on the watchman and anyone else who happens to be in sight.
Well, give me a roll to hit against the sheriff, who hears the whistling and looks up to the sky.
Was he armored?
He is armored in chainmail, yeah, but he's
Okay, so
unaware.
Malcifer misses. Damn it! Shoot him! And a
Volley.
volley. Yeah, I guess I'll just. Yeah, I think I'll just do a full volley. These are all at plus 6, aren't they? Oh, I can do that, huh?
Yeah.
So we'll do with number of units. So there's 12.
Yep.
Oh, wait, which one is which? The flat one is
The
archers.
flat one's archers, yeah. 23 definitely hits him, and
And the streets are peppered with arrows.
hitting all over.
Malcifer orders from atop the elk, and the skeletal knights march into the city.
Moments after the volley of arrows hit the sky, there is a horn that calls out. And replies of other horns from within the town kind of blow. Let's go to a battle map. Ooh, this is gonna take a little while to pop in. Here we go. So this map was designed for you to approach from the left.
Okay.
So even though on the map you're approaching from the right, we'll just flip the whole thing.
North is up, or is down?
Oh god. It'll just be rotated 180. So north is down.
Did you say there were trenches and barricades put up?
No trenches, but yes, barricades.
In the streets of the town, okay.
Yeah, this map doesn't have the barricades because I didn't know you were going to be what was going to go on. So I will throw in some barricades right now to make it work.
Is that a different windmill?
Yeah, other windmill was in the other town.
Yeah.
Barricade. You must be a map asset. Doors. Where are you hiding? You are in... Oh god, I have so many assets, I can't find anything. Ah, here we go. Sticks and stones. All right, so we have barricades thrown up. Something like that. And it's probably going to be one over here. And one over here. Yeah, just kind of tossed around in the main avenues of approach. Other side of town. Well, okay, this should. Oh no, let me put them all down so I don't have to later say, oh, now that we're over here, here's an extra barricade that we didn't see before.
Sure, I'm sorting out the HP of my troops, I guess.
Okay.
Skeletal warriors have 20 HP. Mm-hmm. So this group of 9 will have 180. This group of 12 will have 240. And this group of 7 will have 140.
Okay. These guys are doing their best to defend this town. You should go here. You should go there. Oh, okay, here we go. And where is Malcifer? Oh, okay. You should be on the other side, though.
Oh, I thought you said I was meant to be... Okay.
No, because you're... Yeah, you're approaching from the east, but the map is rotated, so on the map you should be approaching from the west.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And you've got... Oh, you've got all the right numbers and everything on this thing?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah. And Skeleton's advanced. Do we want to roll initiative or what?
Yes. Which one of these is the group of knights? Shouldn't there only be 5 knights?
There are 7 knights.
Why were there 7 knights?
I had 2 before, and I just got 5 more.
You had two knights before?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. The knights should have... They've got chainmail and shields, so they should have 17 AC.
Oh, that's okay. I didn't even know what that third thing was.
Yeah. The blue one is the...
And the spears should just have... Oops. Do they even have chain, or do they have... They have chain, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
The regular soldiers from the last battle had chain.
Yes. Unfortunately, since your tokens are linked, it's messing up their AC, so let me just make a slight adjustment here.
I don't think it actually calculates.
There we go. There we go. So your 7 knights are the group of 7 is the knights, and they have 17 AC, and the group of 9 are the ones with what? Leather and shields? Do they have shields?
No, they have spears. I think they had chain in the last battle, didn't they? Or did they have leather and shields?
They have leather and shields. So this is going to be leather and spears for these guys.
And shields.
And shields. Okay, so that'll be 15 AC for them. Okay, great.
And do you want initiative?
I do.
And are we just doing 3 group initiative?
Yes, let's just do group initiative. I'm learning so much about army management in this session. Next time we do this mass combat, it's going to be way smoother. All right, let me grab their groups that they have, because they are getting ready for war. Everything should be 1 larger, because you're 10 by 20 feet on your units. There we go. 1, 2, 3 spears is all that they've got here to defend this town. But they're inside somewhere. All right, let's roll initiative. Let's turn on our combat music.
Our modifier's 3?
Yes.
So with modifiers, yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh. 1.
1?
Mm-hmm.
All right, this one gets higher. Excellent. Okay. So, Malcifer himself goes first.
Well, I just rolled 1 for me and all my troops. Did you want to do individual initiative?
Yeah, I think for important NPCs, we can do individual initiative. That seems better. Yeah.
Malcifer's not actually doing anything, though.
Okay.
But... Okay, so I guess my skeletons go last.
Oh,
Malcifer commands them to advance. I mean, I guess I'll have a crossbow bolt loaded and ready, but I'm sort of standing while my skeletons march forward.
Excellent.
The round started, I think, with the archers taking a shot at that sheriff in the streets.
Right.
In the streets.
And then the horns go, and the soldiers that are sitting and ready kind of man their posts. The first couple of spears move into positions like this. There are no knights or other reinforcements to be seen. These guys get behind their shields, set low behind their barricades, and wait for the inevitable push from the skeletons.
Yeah. So the wave of skeletons marches past and through Malcifer. They can move 140 feet, I believe. Or 140 yards.
140 yards, half that, and make an attack. So
210.
210 and attack, yeah.
So I don't think they can.
They won't get to attack range this round.
Yeah, so I think the skeletons just advance into the city.
Mm-hmm.
Do I have stuff to light a torch? I probably don't have that written down, do I? Which would mean a no. Yeah. I feel like having skeletal archers with flaming arrows would be a cool thing to do, but I should have thought of that before here. Oh yeah, not in the rain as well. So there will be a second volley of arrows at the end of the round. How do you want to say there's some cover?
Yeah, let's give them -2 to hit for like the indirect fire.
Yeah, like from the fact that there's buildings in the way. So I think they're just doing like an arc shot. Is that even medium range?
200 feet for a bow?
Yeah, it's like hunter's bows, whatever that means.
Short bow would be a hunter bow.
Short bow.
Yeah. Short bow range. This is in yards. 35 yards. 50
Short
yards.
range.
50 yards for bodkin, which I think is what we're using here.
Okay.
Actually, they do D6, so it should be broadhead. So 35 yards, 70 yards, 120 yards.
So 70 yards. They actually need to advance. They can't even advance and make 2 attacks, can they?
No, they can advance and make 1 attack.
All right. Well, they advance.
Okay.
And we'll go into the next round. Malcifer will make an attack, though.
All right. Who's he shooting?
And his elk can advance for him, and so he can just make a regular shot. Just a single bolt of these guys here. Natural 20.
Oh, critical hit. Roll me damage.
86 plus 2 for a crossbow. 11 points. So I take 1 guy down, right?
Yeah. A single soldier pitches backwards, crossbow bolt in his chest, hitting the guy behind him.
And we tick into the next round.
The next round starts. This group of soldiers is going to come up and over to here and turn down like this and ready their spears. All the other groups will ready their spears for whatever is to come. Readying attacks, and it's your turn.
I think the skeletons just advance. I think they go hurling their bodies over this barricade and descending upon this spear.
All right, your skeletons have spears, right?
This group of 7, these are knights. No,
Okay.
they have shields and swords. I guess they all have shields, but
Right. So I'm going to say the spears can fight over the barricades, no problem, because spears are nice and long. But the barricades are designed to keep people away. So the melee fighters will be at -2 to hit over a barricade, while the spear fighters are
is that
fine.
it? Yeah, I'll totally take that -2. I think they might try to would climbing the barricade provoke an OA or something.
Perhaps, but if they did, they would be on the other side.
I think that's what's gonna happen. I think I'm gonna provoke an OA to descent for these guys to just climb the barricade, get on the other side, and descend upon these guys. So you get an OA at my 17 AC.
They also get their ready to attack.
Oh, can they get a ready attack and an OA in the same round?
I don't see why not. Right? If you ready attack for someone as they run past you, you hit them from your ready attack, and then they keep running, and you get your attack of opportunity. Oh, but you can only get 1 away. No, yeah, but that's away. Never mind. That's fine.
And if it were 5e, it wouldn't work. You only get 1 reaction, but in 2e, you can get both. Is that?
Yeah.
So I don't think I'll provoke OAs in that case. I guess I'll just trigger the
attack of opportunity, or the ready to attack, which is a
since
pointless.
It misses, yeah, let's just keep rolling with it. Make an opportunity attack.
All right, opportunity attack. Oh.
No. These skeleton warriors
Just climb right over the barricade,
descend upon these number of units 7. 15 will be a hit. 50 points of damage. Are they even alive?
No, the skeletal knights rip apart the spearmen instantly.
As the skeletal spearmen come, they see that these guys over there are dead, and then turn and cross the field to get to that one. They can totally just approach and spear. They were ready to attacks. Is that correct?
Yes. So these guys get their ready to attacks off. There are a full complement of 8, and it does nothing. Nothing at all.
Barely off by
1.
Shouldn't this one have 15? Yeah,
They're
it says they have 17,
the same
but-
sheet, the same character sheet, so as you change the AC, it changes it for all of them. I will sort these things out in the future.
68 points of damage from
Oh
the
my
spears. Obliterated.
They're just annihilated. The last group of soldiers with their ready attacks.
They don't go off on anything, and they're just peppered with arrows that probably get a penalty.
Yeah. This is even worse line of sight here, so let's say -4. This is very
It's also
indirect
medium
fire.
range. It's definitely an arced shot.
Yeah. So 4 and 2 for medium range is -6. You want to make it?
No, yeah, that's including the +6. So arrows rain down. Nothing.
Second volume.
Malcifer's elk will advance. Yeah, there will be a second volume up there. Malcifer's elk advances. It can move a full 120. It can move 120 yards, right?
Yeah.
And it's probably large enough to just stride over the barricade and bring Malcifer in range of a soul for this round or next.
Yeah.
Second round of shots. Bow. This will be at -6. A 19 should do it, though.
19 becomes a 13, right? They have 15 AC.
They have 15. They have
leather
shields.
and shields, yeah. All right, so the arrows pepper into the shields. The units hold for just this round and immediately break and run the other direction. As they go, they shout, and you can see people like popping heads out of windows, then popping them back in. Other people are just fleeing in the streets in sort of a mass panic. And I think, unless you've specifically commanded your skeletons to stay grouped together, they will just sort of like split up and start.
I should take, bring them to me living, sack the village, and the skeleton warriors break and wreak havoc on the city.
Yeah.
I follow in their wake, collecting souls here and there.
The spearmen flee. Some of the village flees. They all head southward, which is going to be up on this map for some reason.
South is bad. South is wrong. South is into the maw of winter.
No, they head west. They're heading west. Yeah. Towards
West
the manor.
The ocean.
Yes.
Okay,
the manor house is closer to the ocean, so the soldiers are going there. Whatever civilians are fleeing head towards the Lord's manor house. A nice defensible position with solid walls, not this open village nonsense. And you just raze the city.
Yeah, it's not quite raised because these aren't men.
True.
They are not like raping and pillaging.
That's true.
And in fact, they were instructed to bring them to me alive. So it's.
And they can't burn the city since it's raining.
Right? No,
so it's not raised.
It's probably eerie. I mean, like it's not. It doesn't look like a living army rolled through and I mean, it's certainly going to wind up abandoned.
Yeah.
And sacked, destroyed, but I hesitate to say things like sacked and pillaged and...
It's emptied.
It's something else. It's emptied. Yeah.
Ooh, that's sufficiently creepy.
Yeah, there you go. Malcifer will set up shop somewhere in the center of town and begin the process of feeding on the life force of these villagers and probably preparing them to join the army. We'll eventually, over the coming days, gather the remains of the villagers, gather their livestock to be used in sacrifices, and lay siege to their manor house.
This village is 400 strong. I think you can probably safely say you get about 10% of the village with your... Well, yeah, you probably get about 10% of the village captured and killed.
People. Yeah. I think... That's each skeleton gets a person or two.
Yeah, because the people will just flee. Maybe someone will stay and try and defend another person. Maybe someone slips out of a skeleton's reach. So 40 people down. Maybe about half of those are recoverable for you as souls. So that's 20. I'm just going to say the average person age is...
You don't just want to roll for it?
It's a lot of... Yeah, sure. So let's do roll... What is the... How do we determine average age of a person?
There are ages for humans in the PHP, or you can just roll like a... It's not a straight D100, would it?
No. I've got a randomizer that'll help me with this stuff. Randomizer.
Or you could just do a straight average.
Yeah.
Call it a medieval village with an average age of 40.
Well, so you get you get some adults, some children, some in the middle. Average age of 40. Person has about an 80-year lifespan. Let's say 4 years per person. You got 20 people, so 80 more years for Malcifer. That's a nice way.
Years. I am fuller than I have ever been in my life. I am overfilled. Does anything special happen when I consume more souls than I started with?
I think there's like a deep-seated peace throughout you with an underlying layer of like hunger that can't be satiated.
Have you shown the picture of Malcifer to the stream?
I was going to do it at the end, which I think we're approaching here.
Yeah, I mean, so as Malcifer feeds, replenishes his soul, his hair goes from white back to black, and he regains his youth.
Yes, he does.
And he sits back and relishes this victory.
And he looks somewhat like this. Matthew, I hope this is ready for publishing, because I'm publishing it now. And here is our Lord Winter, back with his black hair, no longer white from being drained. The sigil of his house, or himself personally, the M and W crossed over each other, red and black, looking like stitches. Stern young man, ready to conquer the world.
Or at least the part that's rightfully ours.
Of course. No more than you deserve or are entitled to.
So, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking this is a nice place to wrap up for the day. You can tell all of us what your plans are for next time, so I can.
We're like I said, we'll lay siege to that manor house. I don't know if that will even be any resistance. I think we'll set up shop in this village. Will there? Okay, so I think we'll set up shop in this village, and sort of exhume their dead and send wave after wave of ordinary skeleton from the village to the manor house, and just sit back and.
Because they're going to have proper defenses with, like, walls and a gatehouse and everything. And this is going to be one of those situations where it's going to be reversed, where the PC sends mass hordes of numbers that are sort of ineffective against the few people, but hopefully the overwhelming numbers will make up for it. And I will build that map Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday on stream if you guys want to come by and take a look at it, and we'll play through it next week. Matthew Berger Art does this, by the way, in chat. He's great.
And he often streams on Mondays, right?
Every Monday here on twitch.tv/Koibu, he does his art building stream. He's got a comic called Victus that he draws, and then he also does commissions, and he does stuff like this. And we are due for another collaboration stream where he and I talk lore and make art together.
Last time that birthed the horrible
Skitter snaps.
Skitter snap.
The skitter snaps. Oh god, I love my skitter snaps. They're so good. All right. Any final words for us, Ryan?
I don't think so. Praise be the winter gods. They have come at last. Am I right?
No such thing as winter gods, guys. It's just Malcifer.
What is granting me all this power, then?
Don't feed them. Don't
feed the trolls. All right.
All right, everybody.
Next time.
This has been fun. See you guys next week.
Thanks for watching.